Here at home, a crash that killed a pedestrian this weekend has Austin's police chief calling for changes.
And now a police officer is talking to KXAN about what happened just after that crash. Another driver putting police officers in danger. APD is investigating the death of 33-year-old Kelly Knoll. Investigators believe Knoll stepped into the road Saturday morning near 8th Street and the I-35 frontage road. That is when they say the suspected drunk driver, this man, 40-year-old Wade Atwood, hit him. KXAN's Kevin Schwaller takes us to the time right after that crash when police had a close encounter of their own.
Police were investigating the death when another car drove into the scene. Police also believe that second driver was impaired. We've been showing you the video, and now we're hearing from one of the officers who was there.
It's me right there, pulling a guy out.
Pulling a person out of the car after this. Police were blocking traffic after a pedestrian was killed. Then another car ignores the flares and officers and heads right into the scene.
I was standing right in front of the vehicle and it came directly at me, forced me to jump out of the way.
Officer Joshua Muchnikoff says he wasn't the only one near the path of the car.
I was just surprised that the vehicle was accelerating at me. I think I got out of the way within about 10 feet, 5 to 10 feet. So I was already moving as soon as he accelerated. It looked like he came within a couple feet of other officers when he kept going.
It highlights the dangers for police on the roads. Back in 1995, a drunk driver also struck and killed Austin police officer Drew Bolin on I-35. He was directing traffic. Muchnikoff says the situation here isn't too common in his experience. Still, the number of drunk drivers on the roads near bars is common, he says, and he has a simple message after this weekend.
Be conscious of where you're driving. And it's always going to be cheaper to take a cab.
Especially when the cost can be a life. In Austin, Kevin Schwaller, KXAN News.
APD says the city has had 22 deadly crashes this year. Just more than half of these were drug or alcohol related. Kevin Schwaller, KXAN News.
Looking deeper now, driving past a similar scene, whether you're impaired or not, can get you into trouble. This Austin police officer was almost hit back in 2005 after pulling someone over for speeding. Texas's move over law has been around since 2003, and that law says if an emergency vehicle is on the side of the road, you have to have a lane between you and the vehicle or slow down by 20 miles an hour. In 2012, the state legislature expanded that law to include tow trucks. And as of last year, you also have to move over for TxDOT crews. Austin's police chief says the city needs to take action now to prevent more of these deaths. He says that includes harsher punishment for people caught driving drunk.
And if you look around Austin, Texas, and you see how many people are killing people drunk driving, they get probation and slaps on the wrist. Enough is enough. We need justice when people make those choices and they kill and maim our neighbors and friends.
Here's what else the chief wants to see now. More taxis in Austin, more public transportation options, and public garages that allow people to leave their cars parked overnight if someone's had too much to drink. Chief Acevedo is calling for a summit where city leaders can discuss these ideas and others.